Hey, this is Sarah from sarahdesign.com, and I'm working on adding some textile and clothing mock-ups to my shop. And as I start on this new adventure, whereas previously I've always only worked on drinkware, um, I thought you might enjoy seeing the process. Like, what does someone think about when they're doing new shots? So let me show you a couple things I've done that you might find interesting. So here's the original picture I took. I took it pretty late in the day. I think I would like to see what it looks like in morning light. And this was just laying the thing down. I hadn't ironed it or anything. So I probably want to iron out the wrinkles a little bit better. But then I just went in and I used, down here in the bottom of the layers palette, this little half circle thing to do some adjustments. So doing it in there means they come in as layers and it's not like a permanent change that's happening on the picture. So you always have the original picture there. So, oh, I also did a little bit of I forgot, when I first opened up the file, I thought, oh, I wonder how well the just auto color will work. And I pressed that, image auto color, and adjusted the original image. And then it looked more like this, which was a little bit less blue. But so the first thing I did was I played with exposure, and that made things a lot brighter, a little bit less blue. And if you ever are using these layers and you want to adjust them some more, you can double click and it will open up the properties and you can play with the settings in there. There's also a mask built into it, so if you didn't want some parts exposed, you could paint over it. If you get your brush tool, you could take black, get your brush nice and big. I'm just using my right bracket on my keyboard, and you could say, I don't want this exposure to be on the shirt itself, and you could paint over just that area, and that would be changing that back to the original color, which you can see was quite blue. That's using the mask area there, but I'm not going to do that. That's just a handy thing for you to know. And then I played with the curves, which is just bringing up a little bit more. This was looking kind of washed out, so it's bringing up a little bit more dimension, a little bit more of the dark areas. And then I played with the color balance to warm it up a bit because it was still fairly cold and bluish, almost greenish. In the color balance, I pulled it more toward red and toward magenta and away from blue. So that's how I did the first layers, or the first adjustments. And then, let's see, I think I have 3 here. So as I was playing around, I went ahead and I took the adjustment layers and I put them in a folder like this. So what that means is that, so for example, on this, my active picture, if I'm like, okay, I love how the colors are looking here, I want to apply that to my other images, you can, let me pull that up to 3 up vertical. So if I went over to this one and I turned off, so pretend I hadn't done any changes to either of these. So I'm like, I played with this one and I say, hey, this looks great. I want both of these other images that I took at the exact same time of day so they have the exact same color cast problems happening. I want them to be the same nice look as this first one. All I have to do is take those adjustment layers and drag them onto the other files. It's really easy. It's like if you think of these as being a filter that you've created and then you're just bringing it into every picture. So there you go. This one looked a little different because of that thing I told you about a second ago where I played with color. So even though I brought in the adjustments, it ended up looking different than the other two. It looked a little bit more yellow because I had already played with the color on the original. And if that's what I like, you know, I could go and I could adjust these to make them a little bit more yellow too and less blue. And I might actually go ahead and do that. So if I wanted to make this one over here a little bit more yellow looking, I could just pull the yellow one over to the left. And I could bring back the blue, I could bring the blue away. There's all sorts of things that you can do. But actually, I liked it the way it was. So there you go. It's pretty fun if you've taken like 15 pictures and you color correct that, each one individually. It takes forever, but if you fix one, you can often drag those adjustments into the other layers all in one sitting, and then everything looks really consistent and nice. So pretty excited about this being my first mock-up. I pulled in a cut file I got from Holly Pixels a while back. She had shared this with me, and it's really cute. And I just pulled that in. It was a pink file. I just dragged it over top. I resized it. I angled it a little bit, and then I turned down the opacity because at full blackness, it looked like this. And I think I turned it down to like 68 or so. It looks a lot more natural here. A lot more like it's actually happening here live in the picture. So I hope you found that helpful, and if you're doing some mock-ups at home of things that you're taking pictures of, these tips will help you. Don't forget to iron your stuff because wrinkles are annoying to get out later. And it's a lot easier to lay your design on top if your items are wrinkle-free. And I think I'm going to go ahead and go add this one to the shop, and I'm going to start working on the others. I can't wait to have these for sale. You can always find me over on Etsy at Sarah Design, that's Sarah with an H, .etsy.com, and on Creative Market, creativemarket.com/Sarah Design. And I also just opened a Hungry JPEG storefront, so you can find me if you look up Sarah Design there. And I'm on So Fancy, so I have several places that you can purchase from. Just pick your favorite place to buy, and you are in luck. And I'll put links to everything down below in this video so you don't have to memorize all of that. Thanks for watching.